what's up, guys? It is the Slothman here, wishing you guys a happy Halloween. And today's episode, we're going to be talking about some 3D printed props that I've found online. All of these props came from Thingiverse, so it's nothing that I've created myself. I'm going to put the links to everything in the description. But I did find these files. I thought they were cool. Printed them, painted them. They look great, so I figured I would share them with you guys. So if you guys do have a 3D printer, you can whip these up yourself. So I'm currently using a Ender 3. Fairly new to 3D printing, so I'm still learning as I go. But I think you guys will enjoy these. So the first prop that we're going to show off here is called Rocket Pig Games Crate. So it is just this wooden crate here. And I thought it looked really cool. So you can see I painted it, black washed it. You could scale it into a variety of different sizes. And you could use different painting techniques on it if you would like. But I printed up a bunch of these. And as you can see here, I've got a NECA figure out so you can see what it looks like with 7-inch scale. And I've also got a legend, so you can see what it looks like next to a 6-inch figure. And I think it looks pretty good. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about milk crates. So this file is just called Milk Crate by Alex B. And these are really neat too. These work really good with 1/12 scale. You can paint them a variety of colors. So this one I printed with, I think, white, and then primed it, spray painted it blue, and kind of weathered it a little bit. So this works really good with 1/12 scale. And if you watched my tutorial on how to make 1/12 scale record sleeves, they fit perfectly in these crates. Here's one that I printed to black. These print fairly easy, no supports, and then all I did was take a file and kind of filed out some of the holes so it looked a little bit cleaner. But yeah, those make really cool props. Let's see, next up we're going to show off ammo cans. So this file is called 1/10 scale ammo can. And this looked really neat. Painted this up, gave it a little black wash. Also scales very well. These are really quick prints too. I think this printed in less than an hour or something like that. So it's easy to bust out a lot of these. Really good in the background of a scene. And again, we'll move this guy closer a little bit so you can see. Scales really well. And actually, put a gun next to it too. So yeah, I thought those were cool. Oh no! Losing stuff. Alright, moving on. This I thought was kind of funny. So it is the statue from the movie Goonies. I don't know how well it's going to focus up here. But again, just another cool prop. You can use it in like an apartment scene or like a house scene or something like that. So as you can see, it looks pretty good next to those guys. Maybe could have gone a little bit bigger with it so it's a little bit more accurate to the movie, but I think it's pretty cool. Next up, we did a floor lamp, and this is called Floor Lamp 106.30 millimeters tall is the name of the file. And this one was kind of a pain to print, not gonna lie. Failed quite a few times, kept snapping at the base, but finally got it, and after painting it I thought it looked pretty cool. And you can see how that scales next to these guys over here. Next up, this is actually going to look really cool in this cityscape here. Whoops, I'm going to move this out of the way. This model is from the game Fallout 4. It's an icebox. And so what I'll do is I'm going to show you an unfinished one so you can see the supports and how it looks. And then I'll show you one that's finished and painted. So you can see there's support. I ran supports all up the side for the letters, which you might not need to do. It generated supports underneath this lid here, supports under that lip. Again, supports on this side. And I'm running Cura, so these are just the standard non-tree supports. Not touching the build plate, obviously. So that's what it looked like straight off the printer. This one needs to be finished. This one's going out to Mighty Mouse, so shout out to him. He's always hooking it up. So yeah, I'll show you what a finished one looks like. And this one's going out to Canada to a dude named Turpy Jar. And he requested some vulgar graffiti on it, so I apologize, regardless of how funny it is. But these look really good when they're painted up, as you can tell. And as you can see on this one, from the one fresh off the printer, I was able to get rid of a lot of the layer lines. And how I did that was I sanded it down. I then took the Rust-Oleum fillable sandable bodywork spray paint and sprayed it down, sanded that, sprayed it down again, sanded it with a finer grit, and was able to get this nice smooth finish on it. And so again, next to these guys for scale, I think that works pretty good. I've also seen people make little bags of ice, not necessarily for this model, but for other little ice boxes. And unfortunately, the door doesn't open, but it's still a really cool print. That one took quite a while and failed the first couple of times I tried. So next up is another dio piece that's going out to Turpy Jar, and this is a pentagram for a like a death metal band stage dio that he's building. So he asked me if I could print him a pentagram. I thought this came out pretty good. I sprayed it down with chrome spray paint, and then I hit it with a clear coat, a matte clear coat. I should have did gloss because it kind of really knocked it down. But I think for what he's doing, the way he's going to light it, I think it's still going to have that cool metallic look. And you can see I painted or printed it with white and painted it with a red primer. So that's pretty cool. And again, for scale, I think this is going behind a drummer, so that'll be pretty sweet. Next up is this Arcane summoning portal. Also made one for Turpy Jars for part of a trade. This is set up to have lights that go inside of it. And this is really the first 3D print that I did outside of calibration stuff, so I really learned a lot about this. Also kind of glued some flocking down to it and kind of made it look nasty and old and like kind of moldy. So this is actually 2 pieces, and so what you do is you would put lights inside of here. I didn't prepare any lights for this, but makes the portal light up, so that looks really neat, and you kind of get an idea of the scale too. So with them standing on it, use some atmosphere aerosol, then have figures standing on it with the lights coming up from the bottom. I think would look really, really cool. Alright, we're moving right along. We're almost done. This is all I have prepared. And the next is a set from Greeble. It's called GreebleCity, and there's a bunch of different packs that you could get. And these are really neat. I've printed a bunch. I've only got 3 finished so far. And these things are kind of a pain to paint, or at least I feel they are, because I've never really painted miniatures like this. So I have a whole new respect for Warhammer guys and miniatures. So I'm going to change the color of the base once I have them all printed. But these cool little buildings here, these skyscrapers, and actually let me move that out of the way. And I'll get a giant robot and a King Kong to put it up next to. Here's another building. These things take a while to print. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like each one was probably 13 or 14 hours. And I kind of use the same finishing techniques on them. Oops, here, I'll put the other one there. Where I sanded them down the best that I could, and then painted them. So instead, I've got a bunch of other ones that aren't finished, but these look really neat. If you bear with me for a second, but just to give you an idea of the scale. So if we were to throw NECA Kong up in there, that's a pretty good scale for him. And you can make these larger too. I just kind of picked this this scale just so it wasn't too ridiculous on the print time, but it still looked good for what I was trying to accomplish. So we'll throw Kong right here. And let me get a Gundam real quick. These are just the cheap Bandai Gundams that you get at Target for like $20. Oh no, dropping stuff. So that scales really well with these guys too. And then there's also some smaller buildings too that look awesome when you stack them in front and put lights behind them. I am not being very smooth with this. But yeah, you get the idea. So yeah, so far that's what I've got for 3D printed props. I've got some other stuff lined up to print over the next probably 2 or 3 weeks here. So as I finish that stuff, I will set it aside, paint it, and let you guys know how it worked out.